The French Lesson, written by Hallie Rubenhold, read by Julie Teal. The moral right of the author has been asserted. Foreword and Dedication. To the Right Honourable Margarita, Countess of Blessington. Little more than a year has passed since I sat in the drawing-room of Gore House as the guest of the lady to whom this work is dedicated. The hour was late, and we found ourselves quite alone when she pressed my hand and spoke in a low voice. "I have often wished to inquire, my dear Mrs. Lightfoot, how it was you came to make the acquaintance of Grace Dalrymple Elliot." At first her question startled me. I had not heard that name mentioned for some years, and I wondered how it was she came to know of Mrs. Elliot, or indeed my time in Paris during that period of revolution and bloodshed. Rarely did I mention either, and to no one but my most intimate of associates. "Is it true what they say of her?" She raised an eyebrow into an inquisitive arch. I folded my fan into my hands and smiled pleasantly in the manner I'd learnt to do when wishing to divulge nothing. "I'm afraid I have very few stories to tell of Mrs. Elliot," I said. "Our acquaintance was but a brief one." My hostess did not for a moment appear satisfied with my response. "Very well, my dear Mrs. Lightfoot," said she in a teasing tone. "I know you well enough to understand your games. If you insist on refusing, I shall have to compel you to reveal your secrets." She then made me a very pretty little offer. In exchange for penning an account of my time in Paris during the French Revolution, she would settle upon me a tidy annuity of which, she claimed, she understood me to be in need. She then ventured to set forth her terms. I was to commit to paper a perfect record of all that befell me while I sojourned in that city. I was instructed to omit nothing, no matter how scandalous or indelicate. All my adventures, my opinions, all that I had witnessed or experienced were to be laid plain, so that at the conclusion of my memoir she would be in a fair position to judge for herself the truth of the rumours she had heard. My conscience wrestled with her proposition for a good while before I saw fit to accept it. And now, my dear Lady Blessington, I humbly submit to you in published form that story which you bid me to recount. I offer no apology for it, nor for the scenes in which I engaged, the philosophy I espoused, or the actions that my conscience urged me to take. As you and my devoted readers well know, I am blessed with numerous friends and champions, among which I have considered you for several years. Much to my detriment, I have also acquired an equal number of detractors, many of whom are my very own kinsmen. I bid you to peruse these pages carefully, for amongst the lines are the answers you seek. Only once you have discovered them will you be able to determine whether you wish to rank yourself amongst the former or the latter. I am your eternally devoted servant, H. Lightfoot, 15th of March, 1837. Chapter 1. I should begin by stating this. Until I found myself at Mrs. Elliot's gate, I had no desire whatsoever to make her acquaintance. Only that afternoon I'd endeavoured to prevent our introduction, and my scheme might very well have succeeded, had I not suffered a terrible and sudden reverse. All at once, the lady I had sought most to avoid in Paris had become the nearest approximation of a friend that I possessed. I cannot rightly say how it was I navigated a path to her home. I recall nothing beyond placing one foot before the other. At first I tripped and scurried, and then, once I had crossed the swirling Seine, my gait slowed into a heavy trudge. I believe it was Fortuna who, quite without warning, compelled me to draw to a halt. There she caused me to lift my eyes to a sliver of light escaping from a shuttered window. It fell across a sign which read Rue de Miromesnil. Her Hôtel Particulier was simple enough to find amid the row of similar high gates. A lantern hung upon a hook above the entry, illuminating her entwined initials G and E. I lingered for a while, my eyes set upon the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?